From false lashes to stiff hair, beauty mistakes men hate. Enhance your love life by changing the color of your bedroom. What items you can buy on sale in September. Good morning to you and welcome to Life Love Shopping. I'm Andrea Jackson.
And I'm Michelle Yarn. Happy Monday. We hope you had a great weekend.
Yeah.
So did you know September is National Yoga Month? And although Americans spend billions on yoga products, practicing does not have to cost you a small fortune, and here is how. In honor of National Yoga Month, you can get one free week of yoga from more than 1,600 participating studios across the country. A free pass not only lets you check out the space, but also determine which kind of yoga you like best. And DVDs, there's certainly a more frugal approach to learning yoga, but you should probably take at least a few classes to understand proper form. That way instructors can make adjustments and offer detailed explanations for how positions should feel. And practice anywhere. These days you can find yoga classes at your local studio, a fitness club, online via web videos, even department stores. Regardless of where you choose to go, yoga can be practiced nearly anywhere.
Does your bedroom color reflect your sex life? If you want to enhance the heat between the sheets, you may want to add a splash of royalty to your bedroom. A new study says people who decorate their bedrooms with purple have the most active sex lives. So says a survey by the British retailer Littlewoods. People with purple bedding or furniture had intimate encounters 3.5 times a week. Other colors for sexual activity include red, sky blue, pink, black. The least active color, gray, with less than 2 intimate encounters a week. Green and beige also scored low. If your bedroom's beige, they say so is your love life. Well, what about bedding material? Those with silk sheets, believe it or not, have the most active sex life with 4 romps in the hay per week.
People really buy silk sheets?
I don't know anyone who uses them, but apparently they're very busy.
All right. Well, if you still feel choked up or even sweaty with rage every time you think about your ex, you're going to want to listen in, because researchers are finding ways to improve your ability to forget. They've basically been working on a word association exercise that lessens the personal feelings associated to a certain memory. So, for example, you're not necessarily going to forget that you and your man broke up, but you may forget how crummy it made you feel when he walked out the door. Would you try this? Would you be willing to have your memories erased?
No, but I think it's a perfect example of how your perception is reality.
Oh yeah.
Because you can view a breakup in 2 different ways. Absolutely devastating, or the best gift anyone's ever given you.
Yeah, absolutely. And on that note, I mean, I would think you would want to remember it, because if it did make you feel bad, wouldn't you want to know that so you don't make the same mistakes again? I mean, it's very eternal sunshine of the spotless mind is what it makes me think of.
I mean, it's all about language and interpretation. It's all how you interpret it. Yeah. So if you're feeling good and your self-esteem is strong, you'll interpret it the most positive way. September means the start of fall, which also means there are some great end of summer deals to cash in on. Computers. New computers come out in June. You can get great deals on last year's models this month. Lots of sales are geared toward back to school students. They should look for special student discounts as well. Cars. Automakers are rolling out next year's models at the end of summer. They're starting to clear out the older models. And if you don't mind getting a 2012 model, you can get a pretty decent price right now. Also, wait until the end of the month when they like to clear out the inventory. Grills and lawnmowers, it's end of summer. Stores are bailing on most of their summer gear this time of year. They're starting to slash prices now to make room for the winter items like the snow blowers. And holiday airfare, best airfare deals come 8 weeks before you travel. If you plan on traveling for Christmas or Thanksgiving, buy your tickets now. And bicycles, cycling season is coming to a close. Manufacturers are announcing their new models this month. You can find even better deals if you settle for a 2011 model. And patio furniture. Most stores are clearing the floor of their summer gear to make way for all the winter stuff. So many places will give you a good discount just because they don't want to store it anymore. And clothing. Retailers are trading in their tank tops for long sleeves. We see this every year. No surprise here. Even the most recent summer apparel will make its way to the clearance rack to make room for winter and fall clothing.
Now, if you're thinking of buying one of those new old 2012 models for cars, Consumer Reports just released its list of this year's best cars. So here are the 2012 models that pulled ahead of the rest. First up, the Audi A6. The redesigned Audi is a joy to drive, and it beat out BMW and Mercedes-Benz and tied the Infiniti M37 as Consumer Reports' top-scoring mid-sized luxury car.
Nice.
Also, the Toyota Prius V. 2012 saw the release of 2 new Prius models, The compact Prius C rates unimpressive, but the larger V-Wagon scores among the top in its class. Compared with the C, the V has more room, and it gets great gas mileage as well. Also, the Hyundai Veloster wins big time with its edgy styling. It makes it a standout on the road, and with a $20,000 sticker price, it makes a stylish sporty number pretty easy on your wallet.
Now here are newer redesigned 2012 models that stalled at the starting line. The Range Rover Evoque scored big with its eye-catching style for a crossover SUV, but even the cool factor could not make up for a cramped cabin, choppy ride, and weird steering. Next up on the worst list, the Nissan Versa sedan. Its 2012 redesign sent the Versa's high marks from the previous year tumbling to the bottom of the class. It gets better gas mileage than the 2011 model, but the cut-rate interior feels really cheap. The engine is loud, acceleration is slow, and the ride is jumpy. And the Scion IQ, it's a tiny city smart car for two and super easy to park and maneuver, but that's about it for the good column. The IQ has no zip, it's uncomfortable, and has twitchy steering. Overall, the IQ is one of the lowest test scoring cars in years.
A lot of research to do.
Yes.
All right, you probably do not want to hear this since you just finished buying back to school clothes.
Here's a sneak peek at the toys your kids will be putting on their
Already Christmas time.
wish
man.
list. Play-Doh, Sweet Shop Candy Cyclone. All ages can pretend, makes gumballs, lollipops, gummy bears, and other candies. The hard part, convincing the kids not to eat the Play-Doh, if only it tasted as good as it smelled.
It's salty, I'll say.
Yeah,
Not
price
that I eat it all the time.
$25, yeah. Yeah,
All right,
okay.
all ducked out. This is a fashion craft set. You get 8 rolls of different colors and patterns, and then templates to create your own accessories, which is pretty cool. It's only $25.
The Nerf Strike Elite Hailfire Blaster heavy-duty firepower carries up to 144 darts, fires up to 75 feet, costs $40.
Life Zap. This is a twist on a classic board game, but you're going to need an iPad or an Android tablet for this one, and it's an app, so it turns your tablet into a spinner.
Ooh.
So you could set it down and play your games and use it as a spinner. There's a Monopoly version available as well, which is really cool.
Nice.
And again, $25. So I mean, you get to have some fun. It's a totally high-tech way to do the board games.
Have definitely changed.
Yeah, and $25, not bad. Can't beat that.
The Monster High Dolls are back, all new characters and play sets. Master Moves Mickey is a strong contender for Toy of the Year. It features 15 dance moves, costs about $70.
And finally, to end on an educational note, the Leapfrog LeapPad 2. It has front and back cameras, a faster processor. You get twice as many apps with this, so that means it can grow with your child as they get older and need, better games that suit their age. It's got different ones you can choose from, and it only sets you back $100.
Oh, that's
so
not bad.
it sounds like a lot, but really, if you can stretch it out for your kids, aging, I think it's a good deal.
And a lot of parents love those because they're great learning tools for the kids. Well, parents, finding a sitter is a challenge, and keeping a good one can be even harder.
No joke. So to make things a little bit easier, we've got the 411 on what parents and their babysitters really think, so everyone can be on the same page. And these come from our partner site, galtime.com. So check this out. For instance, when they were asked, what is the most important thing when choosing a sitter? The majority of the parents polled said positive reviews from other parents. And for sitters, some important factors when they're deciding whether or not they want to accept a gig are your location, the pay, and then the length of the job as well.
And parents, if you expect to return to a tidy house, you actually might be in luck. A whopping 89% of sitters said they believe putting away toys and doing the dishes is just part of the job. But make sure you explain your expectations ahead of time.
And then something everyone can agree on, the biggest pet peeve on both sides was tardiness. Both parents and sitters said they expect each other to be on time.
And when it's time to pay up, sitters said they expect more cash for more kids and if they have to run your errands.
And interestingly enough, most of them said they do not consider having to make a meal or even pick up a child from school worthy of a higher wage.
See, that surprises me.
That surprises me too. And the whole cleaning up a mess thing, I think if it's your mess that was there when they arrived, they shouldn't have to clean it up. But if it's something they make with the kids, I mean, I would expect them to pick it up.
And I think if parents trust you enough to pick up their kids from school, that's a big deal because a lot of parents, that's where they draw the line.
Right. It's a tough one.
Yeah.
While certain rules are meant to be broken, one of them is the whole never wear white after Labor Day rule.
Pshaw.
There's too many great ways to wear white into the fall months, like mixing things up with bright colors. You can layer your summer whites with shades like flamingo pink or even poppy red, and then top it all off with neutral accessories like a camel clutch and tortoiseshell shades. Also, white leather. Instead of a traditional black leather jacket, mix it up, get a faux leather jacket in white. It's a really easy way to toughen up your delicate all-white look, and this jacket will keep you warm well into the fall. You can also winterize your whites. You can wear white well into the cold winter months by pairing it with black tights and a sweater. Black and white always looks polished and crisp. It's an easy ensemble to pull together at the last minute because you probably have all those things in your closet.
Yeah, I love a good pair of white jeans. I can wear my white jeans all year long.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, from clothes to makeup, the classic cat eye look. You know, it's always in style, but perfecting it so you don't look like Amy Winehouse,
Come
that
on.
is not easy.
What's
and
wrong with
Glamour
that?
Magazine has a really simple solution for you, a DIY stencil. This is so cool. Here's how you make it. You just take an old business card, you hold it up to your eye to measure its length, and then you make a slight mark at the inner and outer corners of your eye, as well as where you want the liner to stop. And then you sketch your desired eyeliner shape on the back of the card in pencil, so when you hold it up to your eye, you can check the shape and the size. And once it's all set, you cut it out and you have a personalized stencil for your cat eye
I don't know
look.
about that. That sounds like a disaster waiting to happen. The real question is, does your man like your cat eye look? Maybe, maybe not. Here are some beauty looks most guys cannot stand. Starting with overdone eyelashes. We're talking clumpy, flaky, and otherwise spider-like. I'm seeing the camera guys cheer right now. Yes. I mean, I don't think women like that either. A caked-on base, painting layers of foundation, tinted moisturizer, concealer, and powder on your face will rub off on his collar. Stick with the lightweight foundation. They like to see your natural skin. And fragrance overload. Too much of a good thing is a bad thing. No more than 3 sprays. You know the rule. Spray and walk away. Now, the same goes for the guys, too.
True.
Yeah, and a sloppy shave. Ladies, nothing says I've given up as succinctly as leg stubble.
Oh, come on.
Right? Shave at night for the most...
Sometimes you miss if you don't go straight, you know?
It's true, it's true. You're in a hurry. Shave at night for the most precise finish and use a new blade. And stiff hair, no man is going to be able to run his fingers through your lovely locks if it's not in a bun or high maintenance looking. Go with easy waves, half up or a pretty ponytail. And the smoky eye overload thing can get ugly, fast when heavy, dark shadows are piled on top of each other. Just slightly smudge the black eyeliner along the rims of your eyes and you'll get the job done.
Man, that's a lot of rules to keep up
with.
A
lot of rules to keep up. Ladies, if you don't want to have sex, don't shave your legs. That's one way to
I
kind
can't
of...
get over that whole shaving the legs thing. I'm sorry.
Keep
Guys
the
let the stubble go, and that's okay. They look more handsome when their hair grows, but women, you know. Well, coming up on Life Love Shopping, do politics and Facebook mix? And how emoticons can spark an office romance. Next. Welcome back to Life Love Shopping. Well, here's a battle cry for a book you don't hear about every day. Men are victims of sexism. This book is called The Second Sexism, and it claims basically that men are undermined by their gender. And while some might call it anti-feminist propaganda, the author says it's a fair argument for sex equality. So here are some of his arguments. Professor David Benatar, he says we basically need to broaden our vision about where sex discrimination takes place. And what he's saying is there are lots of examples out there. For instance, you know, men are actually more often the victims of murder and nonviolent crimes. But he says, you know, if a guy hits a woman, he's labeled as a bad man, which, you know, I think we all agree is true. But if you see a story about a woman hitting a guy or beating him up with a bat, for instance, she's not always seen as a bad woman. He's saying
she's doing it in self-defense, so to speak.
She's saying that's not fair.
Yeah.
Another point that he makes is that only men are sent into combat, which feminists also object to. But you have to keep in mind that women can choose to go into hot zones, but men have to go like it or not. You know? So that's a point he makes, and he also touches on guy shaming. You know, there was an article in the New York Times that did a piece asking if modern men are manly enough, and essentially it was saying guys are too metrosexual. They need to get out there and hunt and work on cars and do manly things.
Yeah, I feel bad for guys because they get such mixed messages. It's hard to tell. It's sort of like, you know, and here's the thing. We work on 6 basic human needs, 2 of which are significance and connection. And men work with significance. That's why they play sports. That's why they like to win the game. That's their drive. Women are based on connection. We connect with people. That's just how we're wired. And so men need to have that feeling of like, I'm bringing home the bacon. I'm the guy in the relationship.
Well, and it's tough too because I think a lot of women put it on men to be more sensitive and be more in tune to their emotions. But then when they do that, apparently they're not being manly enough.
Yes.
So it's an interesting topic.
Well,
there.
did you block your grandma on Facebook for bashing President Obama? If so, you are not alone. Turns out people who identify as Democrats or liberals are substantially more likely to say they consider Facebook and other social networks like Twitter and LinkedIn an important resource for keeping up with political news and promoting their pet causes. They're also more likely to say they changed their mind about something or increased their political activities as a result of social networking, according to a new study by the folks at the Pew Research Institute. That's what they say. Now, some 18% of those surveyed said they have blocked or unfriended someone whose politically spirited posts were too frequent, outspoken, or otherwise annoying. And of those, 31% said they blocked a close friend, 21% a coworker, and 18% a family member. So the question is, should political bashing of either party be off limits for Facebook and Twitter? And it seems like the sentiment right now is yes.
Well,
enough
I
is
mean,
enough.
that's the nature of these social networking sites, though. The point is that you share your opinions and your life experiences online. So if people don't like it, just do what they're doing and block the person.
Yeah, but
you know?
like that e-card said, you know, I've changed my political point of view thanks to your Facebook post. Said no one ever. Yeah. Will ever get one of these little emoticon tagged onto a text message from a coworker? Well, if so, watch out. A new survey by dating site whatsyourprice.com says nearly 45% of women and 59% of men who hooked up with a coworker said it all started with an emoticon.
Interesting.
71% of women and 90% of men say the winky face indicates an invitation to romance. 85% of workers aged 18 to 29 say they would date a colleague. 40% of Gen Yers would date a supervisor.
I don't know. It's hard to get what you're feeling across in a text or an email. So let's take a look at a few texts and we'll see if we think they're kind of flirty or not. One of them, free donuts in the break room.
Oh,
winky, winky.
It is on.
Code word. Is donut code word for something?
Could be.
All right, the next one, have you seen my stapler?
Totally code.
You think?
Yeah.
That's a little too office space for me. I don't know. And then this one's great. I forgot my badge at home. Can you come around back and let me in?
Oh, definitely. It is office romance. Yeah, that is some super secret info.
Just be careful,
right there.
people, when you're texting.
Yeah. From news stories to celebrity headlines, what's happening this week?
Lisa Spooner from our news partner, The Daily Buzz, is here with a preview. Good morning, Lisa.
Well, good morning, guys. Quite a busy week with a lot going on, starting with tomorrow, the 11th anniversary of the 9/11 attacks. So across the country, we will remember the day when nearly 3,000 people lost their lives in the World Trade Center and Pentagon attacks, as well as the passengers of United Flight 93 that crashed in a field in Shanksville, Pennsylvania. And as always, the president is asking all of us to remember Patriot Day. And then on Wednesday, Apple is going to hold a hyped up event. Invitations were sent out last week, and there is wide speculation they will show the new iPhone 5. Rumors have been swirling for months as to what the new iPhone will have, and tech experts agree you can expect a larger screen. But hey, don't hold your breath for a new iPad. However, you won't likely see that until October. And then several celebrity hotties are going to be blowing out the candles on their cakes, like Oscar-winning actor Colin Firth, who turns 52 today. Today's also the former Mr. Reese Witherspoon's birthday. Ryan Phillippe is 38. The beautiful Virginia Madsen is celebrating her 51st birthday tomorrow, looking good at 51. On Wednesday, dream girl Jennifer Hudson will blow out 31 candles, and funny man Tyler Perry turns 42 on September 14th. And that's a look ahead at this week.
All right, Lisa, thank you. I cannot wait for the iPhone 5. In fact, you can see the shadow of a 5 in the 12 on their big invite.
Oh,
so
that's
it's
sneaky.
Key.
See, I'm still on the Android. I gotta make a move.
You gotta make a move to iPhone.
Behind.
Still more to come here on Life Love Shopping. How to decorate thrift store style coming up.
Plus, the must-have pots and pans for every kitchen. If you're looking to redecorate your house or decorate a new home, check out your local thrift store. There are items you can look for that you can reuse and even give a little DIY treatment to look brand new for a fraction of the cost. For instance, shop for furniture. Most thrift stores price it around 75 to 80% of new retail value. You can refinish, repaint, or cover a table. If you have a tall table, you can cut down the legs. And for chairs, just reupholster with fresh material. Now, when it comes to frames, wood ones can be painted to look like new. They can be decorated with jewels or beads, and you can use them for photos, old postcards, or even pressed flowers. That's a really cute idea. Other things to get from a thrift store are containers, jars, vases, baskets, and boxes are great for storage. You can use the container the way it is, or you can paint it. And also lamps. Most of the time the base is in perfectly good condition. You can replace the shade really inexpensively. Mirrors as well. Some mirrors can be reframed or painted as long as the glass itself is in good condition.
If you are doing your bridal registry or moving, there are a few kitchen items you must have on your list. Rachel Kay is with us in the Craft-Made LG kitchen to help us out. I have to admit, Rachel, this all looks foreign to me.
I know. What's a pot? What's a pan?
What is a pot
What is
and
it?
a pan? I only know of a panini press.
And a microwave, that's me. Well, these are from Martha Stewart, and of course she knows everything about cooking and kitchen needs.
does.
So you're gonna, of course, start with the Dutch oven. You use this for slow cooking pot roast, chili, stews, that kind of thing. And the lid is the key here. It's what keeps the moisture and flavor in there. And if you take it off
heavy.
and you cook that on a stovetop, you'll brown the meats and vegetables.
okay.
And then, of course, the next thing is a 10-inch non-stick skillet. This is for things like eggs, seafood, breaded items, you know, anything that's gonna, well, stick to the pan. And the other trick here with this, though, is you have to hand wash it and don't use any sort of metal utensils on it because it'll scratch it. We've even got some scratches
The metal,
here.
the metal pads, right?
Exactly. And then, of course, a large saucepan. This is for any kind of sauces, and the thing with this is the tall sides here. It's what prevents the moisture loss. And you want to choose something that's non-reactive material-wise, because then that flavor is going to get in your actual food. So, and then skillet. Skillet equals saute. This is going to be for anything that you, any kind of meats, vegetables, stir fry, all kinds of stuff like that.
Stupid eggs.
Yeah, you can do eggs, but the problem is it'll stick. That's why you want to go with the non-stick, because it's so much that material. And then you use less butter when you use the non-stick.
What's the point of that?
You know, a little healthier, right? And then, of course, a large pot. You're going to use this for pastas, soups, anything like that. And with this one, you need a lid, of course, to keep the flavor in. And then the handles, because when you're cooking pasta and heavy things like that, when you go to dump it out, if you don't have good handles, you're going to dump that all over the place.
Okay, well, that does it for Life Love Shopping. Thank you so much for joining us. We're here on WeTV every weekday mornings.